We're going to go over everything you need to know about the Seis Cero, starting off with the material list that you're going to be receiving. When you open up your package, you've got your case. Obviously, you've got your Daughterboard badge, Daughterboard, your JST wire, Tadpoles, your weight, PCB. Here's your M.2 MCU, and screws. I'm going to show how to assemble everything, assuming that you have the Bluetooth version with a battery. This is the battery you need to purchase for it. It does not come with your kit. Should be a link to this on the Discord, and if you cannot find it, feel free to ask in chat. If you do not have a Bluetooth version, basically it's going to be identical except for adding that battery and connecting the battery. So you can just ignore that part if you get to it. First up, we're going to go ahead and screw in your M.2 chip to your PCB. I suggest that you test your PCB before you solder. This is obviously soldered already, but for the purposes of the video, I'm not going to dwell on it too much. So this inserts just like any M.2 would in a computer motherboard. Insert that all the way in, and the screw that you're going to be using, oh, actually, let me take a quick step back. This is a hex 1.5. This size hex driver will assemble and disassemble the entire board. So you got a bunch of M.2, this is M2.5 screws, but they all have the exact same driver size, 1.5 hex. This one is going to be the only silver screw that comes with your hardware kit. It's going to be a rounded button head. That is your M.2 screw. You're going to push that down. And don't forget the reverse threading technique that I showed you in one of my past videos. Go counterclockwise first. Hear that click? That's it seating in itself, and then start spinning clockwise. You're done. Also, sorry for the noise. My neighbor decided he wanted to mow the lawn today. Also, my kid is here, so if you hear a cutie running around, that's him. I'm not apologizing for him. He's too cute. All right, next we're going to install the M.2 into the daji badge. You should have four 4mm M2 screws. These are very similar in size to the K screws, but the K screws are 6mm, so make sure that you use the short ones. From there, you're going to screw all those in. When you get to this point, before it's fully screwed in, you want to make sure that you align everything. And so just hold it in place with your hand. And I still always like to do my star threading technique. So starting diagonally here, go to there, go to here, and go to there. That's done. For the wire, this is a really short wire. It's only about 2 inches. Yours is gonna kind of be opened up. I like twisting these, and it's kind of a hard shell, so it actually stays in place and it almost looks braided. It's kind of pretty. Gonna connect that. Make sure it goes all the way in. So use your nail if you need to, but just make sure it's almost flush. The male end should be almost flush with the end of the female end, and that's in there pretty tight. For your reference too, this is designed to be yanked by the wire. Same thing applies on both sides. Whenever you need to remove this, just grab the wire and yank it. Next up, we're gonna install the battery. Your wire should be coming out of one end. It's designed to fit that way in the case. This is the section your battery sits in. You'll notice there's a place for it on the case and a place for it on the weight. This sits in there, kind of as a placeholder. You get your weight. Pretty easy. I'm gonna get a rag because I don't like touching my stainless steel. Now we're going to grab 2 of your recess screws. That's going to hold the weight in place. I love magnetic screws. Now your weight and battery are installed. Next we're going to do the badge. Let it kind of sit in there and hold it while I lay it down. Should be in the right position. You get your remaining 2 recessed screws. Counterclockwise, click, then clockwise. This is really important. These badges are not heavy. Please don't over tighten those. You will strip those screws. All right, now we're gonna install the tadpoles on the PCB. So I'm gonna set this aside and bring the PCB over. Here's your little tadpoles. What you're gonna do, this kind of Hershey Kiss end, the fat end, goes on the bottom side of the PCB where all of your pins and soldering happen. I find that twisting them kind of helps get them to their bottomed out position. There. Now we're going to move this top over a little bit. We're going to go over Probably the most difficult part. It's not the most difficult part, actually. I think it's going to be the part that gives most people trouble if they have any kind of trouble during the build. Because most people are going to grab their PCB and they're going to try to get this to work, and it's so short and they're going to be so frustrated. Don't overthink it. Literally all you have to do, you have 2 connecting points, right? If you have a battery and a Bluetooth module. Otherwise, you're just dealing with 1. Most people just kind of automatically assume that the PCB has to be in this position. Well, that doesn't reach very far because it's intended to be there once it's closed, right? So all you do is you get your PCB and you make sure that you line up your hole with its matching JST connector. All you do is just bring it over. Once you do that, you just grab your wire. You might have to twist the end a little bit. See if I can do this in a way to show you without my hand blocking it. See, these are lined up. Do the same thing with your battery if you have one. Don't forget to give them both a nice little pinch. Now that everything's connected, just lift your PCB up, move it over to its correct position, start hinging it over. This is so tight and short, that's going to stay in place. This one's a little bit looser, so you can kind of tuck that one in. There. It's so easy. Now, let's install the top. You'll notice that I have all of these caps off. That's because that is where your screw points are for your case. This is just going to slide on. It's really nice because there's actual holes on the underside of it that are used for your tadpole. And this basically just helps align everything. So once you install it, you're going to feel the point where they make contact, and then everything just kind of slides in place. Now you get your case screws. Don't forget to do your reverse thread technique. Pop, start screwing them in. Don't over tighten because pretty small screws, and you don't need to. You notice I'm doing my star pattern again. Now you're all done, ready to install your caps. And that's it. Hope you enjoy your board.